welcome to this week's edition of Ghost News Network. This is the week beginning March 8th, 2015. We have a great show lined up ahead of us for today, but I'd just like to open up and start the show. We're filming this. It is actually March 8th, which happens to be the anniversary of our paranormal group. Long Island Paranormal Investigators started on March 8th, 2003. So we just wanted to wish the group a happy 12th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Mike, Rob, I'm sure you guys have stuff you want to add to that, maybe? I don't know.
Where's my jewelry?
Yeah, right. When else our fucking Rolex watch?
Yeah, let's do it.
No
my Timex.
No retirement for you.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing with paranormal investigation. Even after you die, you don't retire.
Yeah, sure.
It just keeps going.
Just on the other end of the end of the job.
Yeah,
but at least nobody has to explain how to use a recorder for you.
There you go. But
yeah, my first CVP will be "You're doing it wrong." The ghost.
You call that a question?
Nice. But yeah, 12 years. I can't believe it's been that long. It feels like just yesterday we were playing hockey and I was daring, our crew to go into Building 93 at Kings Park Psych Center, and 12 years later, here we are. Yeah, I mean, just to go over that whole day. During the daytime, we were playing hockey in front of my house, and I don't know how the conversation came about, but we started talking about different myths and urban legends of Long Island. Mary's grave, stuff like that. Kings Park Psych Center came up, and we were just talking about it, and I go to two of the guys, which was Tim Signorelli and Jose Espinal, and I go to them, and I'm like, I dare you guys to go into Kings Park Psych Center, Building 93. They're like, hey, we'll do. I'm like, well, I dare you to do it tonight. So they're like, all right, let's do it, So we all piled into a 86 Grand Marquis. I think there was
a backpack of frozen meat.
Oh my!
In case they were wild animals.
Yeah, we had I think we had six or seven people packed away in this thing. Yeah, we packed a bag of meatballs and bacon, because raccoons and stuff. And then we were afraid that there would be rabid raccoons there, so we just threw meat at them. They need
so
it.
Should that be in the kit for every new paranormal investigator?
Oh, it was crazy.
Flashlight check, recorder check. Don't forget the frozen bacon.
We had they had 2 flashlights, they had 2 lead pipes, a sack of meat and just other shit. And then we had our crappy
barbarian ghost hunting, man.
Original walkie-talkies that only had 2 channels. There was only 2-channel walkie-talkies that ranged up to a mile. It was crazy. And this is what we used the first time in. So we park it at the bar at D.S. Shanahan's, and those 2 guys, they go in. And we're like, all right. Right when you get in, radio us. So we're sitting there for 40 minutes, and we hear nothing. So I'm like,
they're already out of range.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I radio them, right? And a couple minutes goes by, and they finally get back to us. And they were I think they were on
the 3rd floor.
They were on the 3rd floor or something like that. They're like, yeah, we're in. We just want to keep radio silence right now. We're in the building though. We're checking it out. I'm like, all right, just keep doing your thing. So then I'd say about 20 minutes passes by. And I radio them again. I'm like, where are you guys at? And they're like, oh, we're just about to hit the top floor. I'm at the top floor. I'm like, no, you got to go down. I'm like, because all the stories that we found out on the internet was as high up as that building goes, that's as far down as it goes. Which, when you think about it, is pretty much impossible in that area, because you'll hit the water table within probably a couple stories down. So we're like, you got to go to the basement, man. That's where all of this stuff happens. And that was one of the stories of the location was out of control patients. They would take them to the basement, and they'd have this big giant rock, and they would knock the patients over the head to knock them completely out, to contain them or something like that. I'm sure the story, isn't completely true. There's a lot of other things I'm sure they can do. They would, shoot them up with some meds, and they'll, go out cold. Yeah. But supposedly a lot of the activity was in the basement. So we're like, you got to go down. Now they were all the way on the 13th floor. Now going down, I've been in this building once. Okay, going down from the 13th floor all the way down to the basement isn't the easiest task. Going up that many flights of stairs in the dark with a really crappy flashlight, really, really shitty video camera, isn't the easiest task. So they're like, all right. So they head down, all the way down to the basement. We're sitting there waiting in the cars, like we're like, oh, what's going on? Like we're curious, So they get down to the second sub-level, which is you have like the first floor. There's a basement below that, and there's another basement below that. And that's, I think, where the main tunnel entrances kind of come through that building are. So that's where they were at. And we're talking to them. They're like, we're down in the basement. We're just looking around. We found some stuff. We took some stuff.
Old computers.
Old computers and all that crap. So, like, we're going to head up to one more floor, and we'll call you guys in a little bit. All right. So then, all of a sudden, about maybe 20 minutes later, we hear, we're out, come pick us up. We're like, huh?
They're on the side of Old Country Road,
so
hiding
we're sitting there all relaxed, and all of a sudden we're like freaking out. We get into the car, and we're like haul ass, and we blow by the psych center, and they come running out of the woods behind us. So we slamming on brakes.
Mind you, an 87 Grand Marquis on snow on the ground.
It was like conditions like there are today, they jump in the car and we take off. And we're like, what happened? What happened? They're like, holy shit, we're in the building, and right before we ran out, we heard a loud bang noise, and we have no idea what the hell it was. I'm like, did you get it on video? Like, yeah, we caught it on video. We think we caught it on video. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, what did you guys see? Like, what happened? And then they get pounded down. I'm not the only one asking questions. Everyone's curious. None of us have ever been into Kings Park Psych Center, so we're all curious to see what did you see? Did they get pounded with questions? And they were saying that they found a map. They found
books.
What looked like a lot of books, computers.
Take a book.
They found a human-sized cage, which was interesting. And I'm like, all right, that sounds cool, And then I remember going back to Dan's house, and we put the video in, and we're watching it, and it's really crappy video. There's no infrared, on this camera. It's not a night shot or anything like that, And
did we do Mary's Grave that night?
yeah, right. That's right. Right after that, we did. That's
grave.
right. After that, we went to Mary's grave. We're like, let's go to Mary's grave. And I don't know what happened. I must have grew a huge shit of freaking balls, because we get to Mary's grave, and I think 3 of us jump out of the car, and we go behind the house in Head of the Harbor. Now, you do not want to get caught over there. Like, that's like, you're getting arrested. Like, it's completely trespass. You're basically in someone's backyard. And we walked around back there for about 20 minutes, and we didn't really find much. We got back to the car, and we headed to Dan's house. And I remember getting to Dan's house. We were probably there around like 2 o'clock in the morning. We popped the tape in. We're all watching it, and sure enough, you see the video camera, and they're talking about like the computers and stuff. And all of a sudden, bam! You hear this loud bang sound, and right at that point, the camera jumps and goes right to Mary's grave. Now, with our video cameras, I know most video cameras, when you pause it or stop it and start it back up again, you get that, it's tape. It's not CD, it's not DVD, it's tape. So you'll get a little blue screen, and then it jumps to the next segment. This jump, you can actually see the times where it stopped at Kings Park, and it just bam, flipped right into it. There's no stopping the tape. It's almost like if he paused the camera the entire time, and then we went to Mary's grave, and then we unpaused the camera. That's kind of how, like, if you were watching the video, that's kind of how it was.
And a 1990s video camera,
which would have died anyway. All those cameras have an automatic shut off after 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. If you pause it, it's automatic shut off.
Yeah, battery saver.
There's no way. So that was interesting. That was kind of odd. But
you laughed at the meat, but Jose did throw meatballs at a raccoon he found.
They found a raccoon. They have it on video. It's the craziest shit. You see the raccoon on video, and they're focusing on this damn thing for like 5 minutes. I'm like, we're all sitting there. Remember, Dan says we're all sitting back, and we're like, who cares about the raccoon? Look what's around you. Like, and they were following it around. Like, what are you doing?
They were following a raccoon around the building, checking it out.
But
I guess they could get the raccoon and live there long enough. It'd lead them to all the good spots.
Exactly.
So I mean, right there is where it all started, and then, me and Rob were talking, like a couple weeks from that point on, and we talked about, about all the different urban legends and of Long Island, and checking these locations out to see if there was any truth. Like, I got so tired of hearing all the Mary's grave stories, but I want to know if it's real. And that's kind of where the interest kind of pushed into the whole thing, where let's check these places out. Let's see if there's any truth behind this stuff. Let's see if it's real. Nobody's ever done it before. Let's be the first group on Long Island to do this, to check this stuff out, to see what is real and what's not, and then have evidence we can gather up and prove, this is what we found. And we both went on the internet. We found some equipment. I mean, I think one of the first couple of EMF meters we had was the multi-detector 2. You picked that one up. Yes. I picked up the EMF cell sensor. We created what now is the energy loss meter. It was a voltage meter. And I remember we just had the meter where you hold in your hand.
And the battery.
And the battery you hold in your other hand.
And Jose kept losing the battery, so we created the meter.
Yeah, we got the...
I remember the original one was the cardboard box with
that's
the
not
That's not the original?
That was 2.0.
That was 2.0?
That was 2.0. The original was just the meter.
Well, I mean, the first box you made, I remember it was the
cardboard box
with the duct tape.
Because duct tape, you can do anything.
We got the digital thermometers from Radio Shack. We picked up the motion sensor from Radio Shack. We started very basic. And I think we picked up, we had the audio cassette recorder. We all had cameras. I had a 35 millimeter camera. I think you had a 35, so we all had some stuff where we kind of just put into the field.
And we carried the multi-detector 2 in a Army 1911 holster.
Yep. I remember that. And that's kind of where it all started from. And, me and Rob, we did a lot of research on the equipment. That was our biggest thing, was not what the equipment does in the paranormal, but what does it actually detect? And then now what are the theories? Our main focus was what does it actually do first? And then we went to the paranormal with it. And, we started out, Thursday nights. We did on Thursday nights because we were all in college, and Thursday night's college night. None of us had class the next day. So we're like, screw it. Let's just, instead of going to a bar, let's go out. Nobody's, you can't, if you're trying to do a Friday night or Saturday night, everyone's out there. Everyone's out at these locations. So we're like, let's do Thursday. It's going to be our best part to go out because there's not going to be anybody out there. And we all have off the next day. So screw it.
We could go screw around that night.
So we would literally meet up at probably 8, 9 o'clock at night, and we wouldn't get in until almost 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd hit 3 locations in one night. And this was every Thursday. And, it just grew from there. And then our big hit was in 2006 was when we did our first retreat with TAPS, Ghost Hunters. Ghost Hunters came out, I think they were filming in 2003, 2004. I don't think their first season didn't come out till 2005. I think it's when their first stuff aired was 2005.
I think it may have been earlier than that because they just had their 10th anniversary last year. It may have been 2004.
2004?
Yeah.
And our first retreat was, I think you're right, it might have been 2004 because in 2006, that's when they converted from that trailer to their office.
Right.
And that's where the retreat was. It was in their first office they had, not in the trailer, like their actual office building. And it was at the Fairfield Inn Marriott. And we went there and...
their first episode date was October 6, 2004.
2004. So then, yeah. And, we went to that retreat, and this was when MySpace was big, so Cheryl was creating, like, a MySpace account, like, right around that time. So everyone was asking, what's your website? What's your website? We didn't have one. We had a MySpace page at the time. And Jam, he, stood up and was like, I'll do it. I'll set a website up. Just give me all the info. So when we got back, within a week, he had enough to build a website. That's how much work I put in like a week. I was just like writing a shit ton of stories up, throwing this together, throwing that together, bam, getting it to him. Within a week, we had a website. And I remember having that meeting with the crew. We were in between offices at that time. We were meeting up behind Wendy's parking lot for like almost a month and a half. And we pulled every single person aside. We're like, all right, we're going to take our group and we're going to completely revamp it. We're going to go a totally different direction, something that we've never done before. And everyone was on board. We gave everyone the option to either opt out or you're on, either in or out. Everyone was in, and that's it. That's where it took off. We got our DVR system within that year. We had our first house investigation using the DVR system, which was actually out of state. It was in Owensdale, Pennsylvania, which was awesome. And that's when we started traveling a lot, and the whole group at that point changed. And then from that point till now, a lot's changed. Just so much different systems, the amount of equipment we have from now till back then. So it's been an amazing run. I can't even think of something I'd rather do than this in my life. It's crazy. It's crazy how far we've gotten in that amount of time. It's awesome. So, and it's something that everyone had a handful, not just the people we have in here today, but through the years since 2003. If it wasn't for Tim and Jose, would we have ever done this? If it was not for them that took the challenge and went into that building, maybe this would have never happened. And it's crazy how things fall into place. And it's crazy.
We've had some interesting people.
Yeah, you meet a lot of interesting people.
Jose
was
insane.
Oh, he was a character. But you know what? If it wasn't for him being insane, and even Tim Signorelli, he was insane. You don't just say yes, I'll go in the building. Like with a lead pipe and
a bag of meat.
A bag of meat, and he's being insane. But
and then we had Spanky.
We had Steve was one of our originals. Kim was our original. Dan, Tiffany Forza. This was our original crew, and that's where it all started. And then we got a couple of new people. Russ was another one. Yep. Then we got some people I worked with through Wendy's. They joined, and that's kind of how it got started and grew. And it's been amazing. It really has. The experiences throughout 12 years is just, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And the people you meet, people come and go. It's just the way it is. But yeah, we're still here and still strong. So, yup. But yeah.
You want to add anything, Rob?
No, I think we've covered enough.
I'll say it's been the fastest, the fastest, it's also like the best 2 years ever for me.
Uh-huh.
Countless crazy stories.
Yeah, and just and
most of them not even ghost related.
Well, yeah. Well, the best ones are just
Jose hitting me and Tim with the car.
Shit! I remember that. $3 Road.
That car was dangerous.
2003.
In the Grand Marquis with the steel bumper, he says he hit Tim going forward, and then he panicked, reversed, and nailed me.
Well, nothing like consistency.
We were parked on the side, right? And Tim gets out of the car
because we were going to go scout the cemetery.
And then we're going to go. You're going to scout the cemetery.
So he runs over the two scouts.
So he pulls forward, and he hits Tim, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Now Rob's in the process of getting out of the car while the car's moving. He's like, "What the fuck?" The car stops after he hits Tim. Rob gets out, and he's just backing up. What are you doing? Like, are you kidding me?
He actually stopped on top of Tim, though.
It was. This is
yelling at the car.
This is the crazy stuff that this is what started our group, and we had fun. I really did. We had a blast. I remember going through Kings Park, parking all the way in the back of the school, and running across the field, and you got to scale the fences, you got to scale the tree line so you don't get caught. Back then, Kings Park was high security. It ain't like it is today. It was high
mud
security.
And thorn bushes when needed.
I remember they used to scan frequencies because I remember when we went to the quad during the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
We go there during the daytime. Now we used to have a lookout team. We'd have a team go in, and then a lookout team on the hill looking over us. And I remember I was the team inside, and I remember going on, I think it was the 3rd or 4th floor, and I could see the lookout team, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Hey guys, you see me? Like, look at the tree, look over, go up 3 floors."
We were in camouflage with binoculars on top.
And we're all waving and shit, And 20 minutes later, we were going to do a swap. The other team would go in, we would do a lookout for them, and we come out, we meet up with the team. We're on the hill, and I remember Mosin saying, "Oh shit!" We look. There's security pulling around the corner. We take off. It was like,
falls down.
By the time Mosin literally said, "Oh shit," we all looked. We were gone. He looked back, and he's like, "We're scattered." Now,
Sucks to be the slowest person.
Now, 2 weeks prior to this, remember 2 weeks prior, we did a scout mission during the daytime with machetes, and we cut a pathway.
We cut a path through the woods
with
machetes, axes,
and the
swords.
crazy thing is we didn't even take the path going home. We ran through, and I remember Motion caught up to me, and then all of a sudden, it basically looked like if somebody was on the ground, and as he passed by, they grabbed his legs, and he just went straight down. And I'm like, Motion, move your ass, get up there! Yelling at him, and then I passed him. I caught up to Rob, because you were in track at the time, or cross country, so I
could run 13 miles at a clip.
And I was like out of breath. Me and you get to the spot, and then there's a spot behind the woods where there's these hills. There's like 4-foot hills, and there's like probably 4 of them in a row. You could go all the way around to the left and go around it where it flattens out, but we stopped and we're like, fuck this. We jumped over every single hill and finally got onto the path, and we just kept going. Oh, that was a crazy day.
So
it was awesome, though.
Let me make sure we get this straight. So for the Investigator 101 kit, you need frozen meat, machetes, and a ghillie suit.
It helps if you also run track or cross country.
And make sure your cardio's up.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But, yeah, I mean...
And that's just one story.
I remember, I remember when I first joined, because I've been in the group almost 7.5 years now. And
so much changed in that time. You've been here 7 years, and how much changes went through. Nancy, you've been here for 2 years, and look how much change went through in just that little time. You know,
exactly.
You haven't had to run through trails.
Now we do. Now we'll have a library or something to do interviews and meet with people.
Right.
Back when I did it, me and the crew.
Yep.
All met at Applebee's.
Yep.
All of us. I mean, it was like 12, 13 people all sitting at fucking Applebee's in this giant booth all crammed in on top of each other. Having dinner, just bullshitting.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was much less an interview, so much as a welcome in dinner, you know?
Yep.
And, because I remember you met me probably a week or 2 prior to my actual interview at Wendy's.
Yes, I remember. You know what? Yeah, I remember you walking into Wendy's. It had to be you and your brother, I think.
Yeah.
You guys had your Ghostbusters jumpsuits on. And, you know, like, that day, I wish I wasn't getting slammed. We were busy. So, and I was in drive-thru. Because I saw you guys with the Ghostbusters. I was going to go over and be like, hey, what group are you? You know, we're Long Island Paranormal Investigators, you know? And it's just so weird that not too long after that, there you are, we're interviewing you. Like, holy shit. Like, what are the odds, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been doing this. This year is my 10th year investigating. I started in 2005.
Right.
So, but it was with another group, and when I moved back, I was looking to once I got settled into my new apartment and stuff, I was looking to get in, and I found these guys, and I emailed them, and it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And I've been here pretty much ever since. I only took breaks for children.
Yep.
And then when me and my wife had kids, but you know,
yeah, you've been there. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I love this.
Crazy run, man.
My first investigation, we had shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that cool photo that we always talk about.
Oh, yeah, the
photo. Mount Misery and stuff like that.
Yep.
My first big investigation, second, because the first big one I went to sort of was Burlington Prison.
Okay.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
Great.
But
we broke that tech record, right? That was that time,
exactly.
right?
My best piece of evidence I ever got was at Fort William Henry, which was in general was pretty awesome too.
You know, that was crazy because
I remember when I heard it, I was alone in my apartment. And there I am listening to 6 hours of audio, listening to people BS bullshit and fart and every other thing, and the wind, a lot of wind, and then all of a sudden I heard that, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. That was, and you know, that was so awesome because that was a last minute put together. We literally had our first convention at Fort William Henry with 35 people, and it was just like, all right, let's just do it. You know, we didn't know. We went into it as me and Rob. We didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
We sat there and we're like, all right, we're going to do a Paranormal 101 course. We had nothing in front of us. We were just
wing it.
Bam! Wing the whole thing.
And I remember...
Nobody knew it. It was just awesome.
I remember that we threw a bunch of equipment into the cars. Yeah. We went up to... And we were like, well, maybe they'll just want to see some... And they're like, can we use the equipment? Where's the DVR? They were like, you don't have DVR.
Foaming out the mouth.
Yeah,
we had no clue. Like, we're like,
but it was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Oh, without a doubt, it was awesome. We had a great time. I mean, that was one of my favorite trips we did. You know, was that convention. That was such an awesome group, and you know, I mean, all the places we've gone to, man. Me and Rob been to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, Queen Mary in California. I mean, these are insane places, you know, and I would absolutely love to go back.
I'm gonna change. I was thinking about throwing the show out and just doing focusing on history of LIPI.
Yeah, because then you could do the whole Queen Mary story.
I was gonna ask you. I was actually thinking about I was just gonna field questions and let you guys handle them and stuff.
Well, I mean, let Rob talk about the Queen Mary story.
Start with Queen Mary.
So we want to discuss another one of our antics. So go ahead. Our antics have calmed down.
Wait, this is Queen Mary?
Yeah, this is the Armor's Queen Mary. Oh. So we went to a convention.
Not you drinking at the Stanley. We'll get into that after.
We'll definitely get into that after.
That was a different year. That was, I think, the year before.
All right, let's start with Queen Mary.
So, Queen Mary, we fly out to California. Now, even before we got there, we get on the plane, and of course there was snow on the ground, and I had to sit next to the Cranky Pants to my left.
Bullshit! Alright, here's what happened, man. First off, alright,
muttering in
JetBlue. I'll never fly JetBlue ever again in my life. Here's what happens, right? Because of 9/11, President Bush said something to all airlines, saying that you cannot delay flights. There's no such thing as delayed flights. You either cancel it or it goes on. There's no such thing as delayed flights. So what happened is, we're leaving, right? They board the plane. It's like fucking snowing out. They board the plane. The minute you board and they close that door, it's not delayed anymore. We sat, okay, at the freaking tarmac for 3 hours waiting to get de-iced.
It's kind of like being next to George Costanza.
I was like gonna kill someone. And you know what pissed me off the most? Not the fact that we sat there for 3 hours, the fact that every 15 minutes the fucking lady would get on the goddamn speaker and be like, 10 minutes from now we'll be leaving, it's only 10 more minutes. After 3 hours of that, I'm like, if this lady gets in that microphone again, I'm gonna fucking throw off the plane. Like, and I said it loud and clear, like, she knew I was talking about her. And like, I was freaking out. I'm like, don't even. Like, just shut your mouth. Like, just don't talk. And
eventually we got in the air.
Finally got in the air. And then what? Then we had to land in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, there was an extra strong headwind. We were diverted. We landed in Vegas, which he'd never been to before. So I said you could wait through to the window at least.
Yeah.
For it, so he got to see Vegas. Which
I got to see Vegas.
I'd been there before.
Bird's eye view.
No, we landed. We sat on the airport on the tarmac in Vegas. We couldn't get off the plane, but you got to see it from inside the plane. Yep. Then we took off again, headed back, and we landed in California. In nice sunny California. Yep. We go to the Queen Mary for a convention, another one of Dave Schrader's conventions to it. And the first night it was pretty much just do whatever you want. We got our passes and got our rooms. And we said, well, we're here we might as well explore.
Right.
So we met up with these other people. We decided we were going to explore the Queen Mary. Apparently there were levels of the Queen Mary that were supposed to be off limits. However, we decided we would continue exploring it, and so we were wandering around the ship, going lower, lower, lower. We've wound up into like these areas where they had like workstations, like carpenters and stuff to do things. You wound up in the prop room. There was the propellers, all the engines.
I have no idea how we got into these places.
I don't know. We just walked through doorways. And
it's not like we broke in. Like you open the door and you walk in. Like
I think left something open.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Through, and then. From that point, so we're wandering, and we just continue wandering, and we're getting lower and lower and lower. We got basically down towards the bottom of the hull. The hull was at some point. Then there was a door up ahead, and I said that I just feel like there's something wrong with it. And James said, there's nothing wrong with it. How bad could it possibly be? So I said, so you go test it. At that point, I just started easing backwards a little bit. He touched the door, and the alarm started blaring. At that point, he said he turned around. I was already gone.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to
keep going. We're not done yet.
The
alarm is blaring in the ship. We're lost because we can't figure out how we got anywhere. We run into this one area. They still had it set up for when they did the Halloween haunted house. So they were through a haunted house maze trying to figure out where they go with the alarm blaring. to ducking through things as people are walking around the ship. It gets looking into it, causing the noise. Eventually, we managed to somehow navigate our way back up to the top of it.
Gee, I don't know where that happened. Some people just need to not.
We just went in the next morning expecting to hear something from Dave about the people setting off the alarm inside the ship.
Didn't he make a note during right before the presentation started? I thought he made a note he was saying something where, all right, guys, at nighttime, and I understand everyone wants to explore, but you got to try not to set off alarms. And he's kind of looking at us, and we're just sitting there I don't know what you're talking about. He knew it was us. He was laughing too because it was a joke, and nobody cared, But that was crazy.
And then they did the comedy act with the guy from the X-Files, Dean Haglund.
Yes.
To it, and so his skit was everyone took a piece of paper and he had to write down a sentence on it, whatever it was that came to your mind. And he was going to use it in a skit, so he went up there. He took a volunteer, and it was basically they were just reading whatever sentences, and they're making they're having a conversation to it. So of course we did a wee bit of drinking before we went to the
Can't imagine.
Then they videotaped as well, so we do have a DVD version to it where Mike got to live in infamy on it.
Oh yeah,
about how Mike Cornudo likes to lick portholes as they read it out. Of course, so then the next morning, Dave was giving his recap the night before, and they brought it up how he likes to lick portholes in front of the entire room of people.
And we were stars on that trip, though. It was awesome.
We signed
was that the one? Was that where Andy was? Where he had the burping contest?
No, that was the screaming.
That was
he won the
that was the second trip to the Stanley.
That was Stanley Hotel, yeah.
Okay, that was Stanley.
The second adventure.
The first time we went to the Stanley.
I was better off because I learned from the first adventure of the Stanley.
The first time we went to the Stanley Hotel, it was awesome. We flew there, no problems flying. We rented cars and everything. So we get there, and we had, I think it was three rooms. We had, me and you had a room together.
We shoved everyone else in one other room.
JM, I think, had his own room, and then everyone else was in their own room.
I think JM was in the room with him. We said we were going to take a room so we would have the beds, and we shoved everyone else into another room.
Maybe you're right. And I remember Craig pulls out a bottle of absinthe.
Nice.
Illegal absinthe, you know what I'm saying? So I was like...
I don't think it's illegal anymore.
No, at the time it was.
Yeah.
And so he opens up the bottle, and I do not do black licorice at all. It's disgusting, and that's exactly what it smells like. He opens up this bottle, and they're all doing shots. And now, I think it might have been Dave Schrader or Patrick
Burns came to drink.
They come up on the second floor. Now, the minute you hit the second floor, the whole second floor reeked of absinthe. Everyone knew what it was. So everyone's like, who's got it? We're like, right here. So it was like a party going on in our room. The entire second floor, we had absinthe. And it was just crazy. And I remember towards the end of the trip, it was the last day. We're waking up early in the morning, and Craig is blasted out of his mind.
He was in a closet.
He drank probably about 3/4 of a bottle of absinthe by himself. So he was gone, okay? So we're getting ready to leave, and we tell Craig, all right, you have everything. So he goes to the car. We pop the hood. He puts the empty glass in the trunk. Leaves a suitcase outside to get to the car. We're like, what is he doing? So we go to the airport. And at the time, Craig, I think, was 20 years old. He had his brother's ID so she can get alcohol. And we're like, make sure
you give them
when you give security your license and stuff, you give them the right one. So he does that. We're fine. Now we're sitting there waiting, right? And he's talking about getting orange chicken at 10 o'clock in the morning for breakfast. So he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. So he goes to the bathroom.
Doesn't come back.
So we're waiting for 25 minutes. We're like, where the hell's Craig? So Justin's like, let me go in there and get him. So Justin walks into the bathroom, and Craig's in the corner doing an EVP session. and Justin goes over and he's like...
In the urinal stall.
He's like, what are you doing? He's like, yo, man... I'm doing an EVP session. This place is haunted.
Justin at the Dragon Ball.
Are you kidding me right now? Oh, it was so crazy.
Even when we landed back in New York, he still hadn't sobered up yet. He fell asleep drunk on your shoulder.
Oh, I remember that. And then I think it was the first night we had to learn the hard way that because the altitude is different.
Yes.
One drink equals straight.
Yes.
So Rob, he brings I think 1 or 2 bottles of mead.
Cheryl gave it to me as a Christmas gift.
Yeah, so he brought them, and we were sitting in the room. We're sitting in the room, and we're trying to figure out how the hell to open this bottle, because nobody has a corkscrew. So we're sitting there, we shove something in the bottle, we smack it, the whole top breaks off.
It's like,
So we're like,
whole thing now.
we're like, oh, now we got to kill the bottle. So everyone tried
broken glass and all.
Who cares, you know?
After everyone eat it really doesn't matter.
Everyone tried a little bit. I'd say maybe there was like a glass maybe completely out of it. The rest of the bottle was left. Rob, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to kill it. Drinks the entire bottle.
After having 3 Long Island iced teas.
Nice.
Now, he was completely shit-faced. I remember waking up the next morning. Okay, now this is after getting maybe 3 hours of sleep. Of him in the bathroom puking his brains out. And I'm like, yo, you alright? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, we got a presentation in like 15 minutes. He's like, just go it down. He's like, I'll be there. So we go to the presentation, and like 15 minutes in, he comes strolling, and I'm like, I can't believe he's fucking here right now. Like, holy shit.
Rob's
and he, you know what? Rob roughed it out the whole day, but he's good to go.
It took until like lunchtime to feel any better.
But, oh, it was
and
crazy.
then I went out and had elk.
Yeah, we had elk with. That was awesome because we sat there. We had went out to lunch, and we're sitting there, and Cheryl rolls in with Grant and like 2 people. So we had lunch with Grant Wilson, which was fucking awesome. It was really cool. He's such a down to earth person, and that wasn't the first time. I think we also had lunch with him on the Queen Mary too.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. So.
And while other people were buying like auction tickets to eat with them, we were just eating.
We were eating with them for free. We got like I remember we were at the Stanley Hotel, and we got one of the haunted rooms the first night. Dave gives us the keys. Hey guys, take the room.
That pissed people off. They hated us.
Pissed so many people off, but
why do they get the room for free?
You know, like we just hit it off with all these people. You know, and it's just awesome. The trips were insane that we took. You know, even Rolling Hills. I remember when we went to Rolling Hills for the first time. We met Lori, and that was the old owner of Rolling Hills, and we just clicked. You know, she wanted to, like, I think an hour into it, she's like, do you guys mind if she had a house right on the property. She's like, do you guys mind if I go and get some sleep for a couple of hours? She's like, I'll give you the walkies. If you need anything, just radio me. She left us the entire building by ourselves. First time meeting us, you know, like, it was really cool. And just the people you meet through the years is just, it's awesome. It's really cool. So
I just want to interject here real quick.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been with the group for 2 years, but I said one of the things how I originally found out about the group and why I came in to interview was because I had, there was a mutual friend who told me about the group. I was like, yeah, I'm into horror. I write ghost stories. It seems like a pretty, logical career move for me. Yeah. But one of the things I really liked and responded to was just how everybody was.
Right.
I mean, it was, I didn't have the Dimitri interview at the Applebee's. I had an actual sit down, fill out a questionnaire.
We were very professional at that point.
You were, if I recall, I was like the last one you interviewed that night, and you were like ready to take a nap, but.
That's because if we're not out of the room by 9, we get charged.
Yeah, but I came in and I talked to everybody, and I just really, I was delighted to hear that, we interviewed a bunch of people, but we'd like you to come on down. Mm-hmm. But I just, let's be honest, it's paranormal or horror or anything. There are a lot of cool people. There are 1 or 2 weirdos in there.
Oh yeah. So
to have somebody that's, open and will, and it kind of into things that not everybody's into, but can, you can still have a rational conversation with.
Yeah.
Is, a nice combination, and that's something that people respond to. Right. So that I wasn't at Rolling Hill, but the fact that these things happen completely does not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a series of questions. Favorite things. And we'll start with, out of all the trips, and we'll all take this question. Favorite trip. Let's start there. Out of all the trips you've done, and you guys have done a lot of them, what's your favorite trip?
That's hard, man.
You want me to start?
Yeah. I gotta think about that.
I'll start. I've done Gettysburg, I've done Burlington, I've done Lake George Battlefield, and the what's it called, camping, and I honestly, for a personal level, not even for the haunted stuff, Lake George camping is probably one of my favorite things to do.
Nice.
Because we all are just hanging out. We did a 4.5, 5 hour hookah session, smoking.
Yeah.
Trying to cook dinner while it's pouring out. And trying to start a fire, stuff like that. It was really, really fun. And it's just a blast. I mean, I love the investigations, but it's the personal time with everybody in the group that is just, it makes it so much more worth the investigations when you're with these people for so long, and that's just, it's a personal favorite. I mean, I loved Gettysburg and stuff like that, but I don't know, camping, everybody, Hanson trying to cuddle with me in the middle of the night, just rolling over, and I kept pushing him. I'm like, get out of here, man.
Yeah. Nice.
He just wanted a spoon.
He did.
He's affectionate.
He is.
He wanted to get closer to him.
Whatever happens in the tent is between you and the other person, I guess.
What happens on the road stays on the road.
That's it.
I have to go with Lake George as well. Again, fantastic location, but just
Fort William Henry, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Fort William Henry. This said great people, great location. They said just kind of spending time with everyone on the team, meeting really cool people, getting out and just even like the investigation was fantastic, but even just like the downtime. Hanging out and doing stuff.
The town loves us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
In general, just the town loves us when we go. A lot of people know who we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, just like the people who, and the folks at the fort that are really just trying to fight to preserve the history of the place.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which, you would think, but there's a lot of, they kind of want to build over it and do. So there's a lot of back and forth, but, being able to help folks preserve our country's history is a really great thing.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of positives. I just really enjoy it. So that would, I don't have nearly as many investigations in as my esteemed colleagues to my left. But I'd say that one would be tough to beat. I will say that.
What do you got?
I'm going to go with the first Stanley trip. Because you had the whole build-up. The night before, we all stayed at Jamie and Lisa's house.
Yep.
And we watched The Shining on the TV.
Oh, that's good.
And we went to sleep for the night, but there were only so many spots to sleep between beds and couches and stuff, so Bainbridge had to sleep on a windowsill.
I remember that.
I had a couch and then we did all stuff at the airport and being there, and I can laugh now about the fact that 1 drink equals 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
And then all the presentations that we went to. And the fact it was Stanley Hotel, and they had The Shining playing on the TV screen 24 hours a day there. And you got to see all the history, and then right next to the hotel is actually the cemetery from Pet Sematary. That's where he got the idea for that one. So it was a whole lot of stuff to see there. I have to go with that one, even though there's a lot of other ones I like, including the trip to Rhode Island and restaurant with the singing moose.
Yeah. I would actually agree. The first trip to the Stanley Hotel, without a doubt. You had everything from, like you said, staying over jams the night before. The whole crew was there, and getting on the limo, whatever, that took us to the airport. And then you had the flight, and then you had the rental cars, and that brought the group so close together. With the trip like that, and so many things changed. Like in a positive way. So many people. I remember. There was the first night there. We investigated till 7 o'clock in the morning, and everyone else fell asleep. Everyone else went to sleep because it was like everyone's tired from the travel, and we're like, fuck it, what? Everyone's sleeping. Let's just stay out. This is the first time we're going to be able to get to Stanley Hotel by ourselves, and we did it. And 2 hours later, we have a presentation. I remember the second night. I'm sitting there. I'm somewhat buzzed at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to go to bed. And Justin brings these 2 people over that live in Arizona that want to start a paranormal group. And Justin's like, who better to talk to you than you? I sat with these people till 6:30 in the morning in the lobby, telling them everything of how to set up a group and where to start with equipment and everything. And it was just it was awesome. I remember during one of the presentations, we're sitting there in a presentation, and these 3 people in front of us turn around, and they're like, "Can we have your autograph?" They asked us for our autograph. We're like, sure. You know, and it was, a lot of people respected us for who we were. You know, like, we weren't just groupies. We were somewhat established. You know, we've been around for years. And it was, we really got known during that trip a lot. We walked in that building and everyone knew who we were. And that feeling was really cool. It's, you know, all that hard work that we put in and week out, at that moment, you can see that it pays off. Right. Your hard work just doesn't get thrown under the table and overlooked. People learning from you. And that was really cool, I think. And that really, that's where it pretty much happened. We met a lot of really cool people, like, you know, all the presentations, Tiffany Johnson, Adam Bly, great people, you know, and yeah, I would agree. That was probably one of the better trips, I think.
And I just remembered the drive back. Once you got Craig into your car, I was in JM's car. We were the car in front of them, and so we're driving down the hill. Meanwhile, you're driving down this mountain. There's no guardrails really, and it's dark because we got to get back to Denver for a plane flight. And you just look to the mirror and you see flashes. Like, what the hell is going on back there? Probably Craig got his hands on the camera.
I almost pulled the car over and threw him out off the top of the cliff. He's sitting there. I'm driving.
Like flashes going
He's sitting behind me. He's taking the camera, pointing it at himself, lifting it over the seat, and flashing me in the eyes.
Trying to, like, do a selfie.
And I'm like, you understand? Like,
I'm fucking driving.
You understand? Like, there's no guardrail. There is no, oops, I hit the guardrail and I bounce back. There's, oh, fuck, we're on our way down. Like, and I literally, like, turned around and I'm like, if one more flash goes off my eyes, you're jumping out of this car. Like, literally. And, yeah, I remember that. That was funny. At the time, it wasn't funny. I was pissed. But, funny now. Looking back, you know.
Everything seems like a good idea at the time.
What are they doing in the car? Yeah, it's been crazy. So, what else you got
for us? That's favorite trip. So now I'm going to ask you, favorite investigation, because they're not one and the same. At least I don't think they're one and the same. It can be local. It can be anywhere. We've done hundreds upon hundreds.
Favorite investigation, I would probably have to say, I think the first time we went to Rolling Hills Asylum, I think we had a crew of like 10 people. And Craig was one of our biggest skeptics. And we're all setting up. This is after we took a tour of the entire place. So we're all setting up, and I hear Craig running down the second floor hallway. I was in HQ at the time. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! And I'm like, what happened? Everyone kind of comes out from where they are. What the hell's going on? What happened? What happened? He's like, sitting there, I'm kneeling down, and I have the tripod ready. I'm ready to put the camera on the tripod, and all of a sudden, whoosh! Shadow person walks right in front of me. He's like, I dropped the camera. And he's like, I just ran and didn't know what to do.
You keep the camera up. You keep
Lori's sitting there, the owner of the place, turns around and looks at her. She's like, yup, nothing new. And he's like, but it's not supposed to happen right now. We're just setting up. And I'm like, Craig.
They don't care.
They're not on your schedule.
They don't care about your schedule. That's exactly what I told them. You know, it was crazy. Like, we'd be sitting down the second floor hallway. There'd be 4 or 5 of us. And we're sitting there, and we'll be asking, you know, give us a sign of your presence. Can you bang twice? And you'll hear 2 bangs. Bam, bam. All right. If you're here with us, bang once. Bam, 1. And we're doing this for half an hour. We're getting responses like this. So at one point, I'm like, all right, if you really are here with us, give me, I don't want bangs, give me 2 taps. And I have this on audio. And you hear 2 taps. It would have sounded like if you took like a sandal or a flip-flop off and you tapped it on the ground twice. That's what it sounded like.
Like that fuck.
I'm like, no way. Craig turns around, he's like, do you want to go home? And all of a sudden, boom, like the whole building like shakes. Like there's bangs all around us. And we're like, holy shit, you know? So I remember we're wrapping up towards the end of the night. And I have to retrieve the motion sensor that's all the way down the second floor hallway, taped to the wall. And I'm like, and there's 2 double doors like leading to like this like day room section that were locked. So I go over there and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, all right, well, I wonder if whatever was here. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's daylight, you know. I'm like, well, I wonder if whatever was here is still here. And all of a sudden, It would have been like if somebody was on the other side of those two double doors and they took both handles and just shoved them with all their force. It goes, boom! And I'm like, fuck this, man. Grabbed the motion sensor, ran down the hall, and I'm like, yo, this place is nuts. And I'd have to say that's probably one of my favorite investigations. One of. There's many, but that's probably up there on my list. Yeah.
But you're up.
I'm gonna go with Gettysburg. I remember.
Oh yes.
it was cold out. I think it was like March when we went there. But some of us decided we were gonna get up early. We were gonna investigate the battlefield at daylight when it opened at 6 a.m. to it. So half of us went through that. Half the people decided that they were going to be pansies and stayed in bed. Namely, everyone who was female. So we drive out to the battlefield, and getting out of the car was a challenge because I don't remember. It was pretty frigid.
Yeah, it was cold.
But we went to a couple. Once we had stopped initially at where we went first. I think
we went to Devil's Den.
We went to Devil's Den first.
No, it was Little Round Top first.
Was it Little Round Top? I thought we went someplace else first. I think we went from Devil's Den
to Little Round Top.
Devil's Den to Little Round Top because if you follow the battle, that's right. So we went to nothing happened there other than us being cold. So then we go to Little Round Top. We get out of the car. You start walking up the hill that Little Round Top is. Peter has an incident, then trips over his own feet, then he falls down the hill face first into a pile of rocks.
Excellent.
Now, Peter's not moving. We all come back down, we look down at him, he's laying face down in a pile of rocks. It's like, crap, do we have to call an ambulance or something?
Is he dead?
For it. He starts to stir, he's like, I'm okay. So, he
after 6 minutes of his life, they'll never remember again. Just motionless.
You know what? He's a trooper, though, man. He's so many times
he gets up, and we're looking like, are you okay? He's like, I'm good. He's like, why didn't you put your hands out at least? Because he didn't. He made no attempt to stop his fall. He just went down the hill into a pile of rocks to it. So we hike up the hill. I'm sure someone must have helped him at that point to prevent them from doing it again. But so we get up there, and we all split off into different spots along where the Union flank was on the line. And Matt's giving his talk and going over the history for people who weren't sure about everything that happened with the 20th Maine. And as he's talking, we're off in different spots. Everybody at the same time stopped because we all heard the same thing, and that was the repetition of cannon shots go off. There were no reenactments going on at 6 a.m. in Little Round Top. And even when they do reenactments in the Gettysburg battlefields, they're not allowed to use gunpowder.
Right.
And at that time of the year, that's not the time of the year they do reenactments. But everyone heard the same thing, and then you even had Matt, who is a reenactor, say that sounded a lot like cannon fire. Mm-hmm. And we had it on video, and we had it on audio and everything.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember that. I think it was like
it was just bang, bang, bang.
That was like second and third time being there, and like, I was expecting the first time going there getting something. Because everyone talks about Gettysburg being one of the most haunted places in the world. And we went there the first time and nothing ever happened. We got no evidence of anything. And then finally, I think like the second or third time we were there, we got that, and it blew me away. I couldn't believe it. It was wild.
When we went, really cool. And because I'm going to continue the trend and say Gettysburg last year when we went was probably one of my favorites. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Mount Misery. I'm not going to beat that horse any more than it already is. Yeah. Gettysburg last year was a lot of fun because we had so many experiences. You guys were in Devil's Den. Me, Shannon, and Peppy were in Little Round Top.
Right.
And we had all the chatter that was going on in there and all the cool things that we saw. But it wasn't until we all reached Bloody Wheat Fields.
Right.
Was when things got a little crazy. Because we were hearing walking towards us.
I remember that.
And then Shannon's like, well, if you're here, can you turn on the motion sensor? Yeah. And then you hear footsteps walk through the wheat field and right past the motion sensor and it turning on. Yeah. And that was really wild. And then I saw, and we got a lot of EVPs from that investigation.
We did. We got a decent amount from
that. I saw this, I don't want to say it was a shadow person because it was gray. It was like this gray man. And I was wondering if maybe it was a Confederate soldier that I saw because that's kind of what it looked like.
Sure.
And it was just this gray guy just walked from left to right, and he walked up to past a tree, and then never came back out on the other side. It was really cool. And we got there at the perfect time, too, because
we did.
The place was closing, but we were there late enough that nobody was really there. And
that's also when the battle for the wheat fields occurred in the war. It was later in the day because the Confederate troops had to first overrun Devil's Den to it. And there were 20,000 soldiers who fought at Wheatfield, that part of the battle, too. And it changed hands multiple times, but there was something like 11 battalions fought off, but there were 20,000 soldiers, 6,000 of them died. It was the bloodiest part of Gettysburg. One of the bloodiest parts of Gettysburg.
I think they were saying at one point you couldn't walk across that field without stepping on somebody. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
All crammed into the farm.
Dylan and Mike P had a.
Were on the other side.
They were on the other side. They had interesting things happen. Well, white light, and I think they saw something too, like a shadow.
Right.
Something like, it wasn't a shadow person though. It was like an apparition almost. So it was Gettysburg.
Yeah, it's an awesome place, and I can't wait because we're going back next month.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back.
Super excited for that.
I can't wait to go back.
It's really good. It's a little family vacation for the boys and my wife. They get to see that, and then it's like, okay, you guys go to bed.
Yeah.
Daddy's going out for the night, and then we're walking down Baltimore Street, hitting all that other stuff. It's just fantastic. And I'm going to ask you one more question, and we're going to wrap up.
What about Nancy's?
Oh yeah, Nancy. I'm sorry,
I'm
Nancy.
Go completely. I figured. I'm gonna let you finish. Now,
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, but
everybody knows that Beyonce has the best paranormal experiences in the world.
Absolutely, she should be on Best of Long Island. But anyway, no. I'm actually going to change tack a little bit. I'm in case management, and so one of the most satisfying investigations I was on was actually on a personal house investigation.
Nice.
This particular one that I'm thinking of, it was a family, and they were so scared to be in their own house that their daughter moved out. They refused to go up the stairs at night to their own bedrooms. They were sleeping on the couch. Daughter moved in with a girlfriend. She was college age, but she was moved in with a family friend. So we came in, we set up, we did an investigation. Didn't really find anything paranormal, but we did make some there was some issues with the wiring. There were a couple of things here and there. And I just remember after we followed up with them after the investigation, it's like, it's been quiet. My daughter's moved back in. And we told them, I said, we didn't really find anything paranormal, but there are some EMFs. You may want to bring in an electrical contractor. You may want to look at this. You have you have a transformer in your backyard. That could, you may want to try a few things. And it says, but if you need anything, if you want to come back, let us know. They were just the sheer happiness from these people and the fact that their family could get back together again and they could actually walk around in their own house after dark made me so proud to be part of this group and so happy that I'm in case management.
Right.
So, did we find anything? No. Right. But that's okay.
Exactly.
Because I remember from my interview, and you might ask, what do you think about the paranormal? And I say, I believe in ghosts, but I don't believe everything's a ghost.
Right.
And then you kind of had that smile, and they kind of like that smile and nod. And I said, okay, we'll see how that one flies. But the simple fact that sometimes not finding anything is your best case scenario.
Absolutely.
And just the happiness that these people, just the look of relief on their face was just really satisfying.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's one of the biggest things is that you're able to help someone when nobody else can. Mm-hmm. And this isn't an exact science. It's not like it's a robbery where you can go after somebody. It's not like a fire where the firefighters come in and they hit your house with water and you call the insurance company up and everything gets fixed. Mm-hmm. This is not an exact science.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're dealing with necessarily, and some people just don't know what they have, and then people that. Like we just had a case last weekend, and that was our follow up investigation there.
Yeah,
that we just had, and ever since we went back the second time, guess what? It's been quiet.
That's what they said. It was quiet when we were there. The first time we had a lot of experiences, and the second time, it was quiet. And
but they had stuff happen between the two.
Right, like a surge of activity that happened. But we went in there with a completely... We investigated like we always investigate, but our approach to how we treated things in the rooms and things that we set up prior to, that I think really helped.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So,
and just knowing that you're able to do that and give these people an ease, like they're able to sleep at night.
Yeah,
it's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, because too is this particular case that I'm thinking of. Like these people were, these people were professionals and they had responsible jobs,
right?
And so they were kind of like, who are they going to... It's not like you can... They were asking, like, you guys don't have marked cars or anything. It's like, no, it's all personal vehicles.
Yeah, right.
It says, I can't have my neighbors know about this because, you're going to have a bunch of ghost hunters in your house. People are going to think you're kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there is that kind of like, I want to say, stigma attached to these things. So it's like, well, what's the matter? Are you afraid? Well, the ghosts aren't real,
Yeah, right.
So to get to the point where someone who's, and they were, folks in law enforcement or whatever they do, to go ahead and reach out, it's kind of a, things have to get kind of bad in your mind for that. So the fact that you're able to, come in, be professional, and, help people, even when there's not like paranormal stuff, but, to have somebody to listen to, that's huge. And that was very satisfying for me.
Without a doubt.
I know when we did that house investigation in Cutchogue or wherever it was out east, we were walking through the house and me and Mike left our equipment. It was electrosmog and something like that. K2. And we just walked away and we went upstairs, or was it the next room?
Next room over.
We went to the next room over, and then me and him came out and we turned the corner and we walked in and we both jumped back because all the equipment went up, dropped down, went up again, and then died. And when we saw it, it was like we both felt like we walked in on somebody. Yeah. Like if you accidentally walk into someone in the bathroom or something. Yeah, exactly. Oh, crap, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to come in here now. That was really wild. Oh, yeah. But last question, and then we're going to wrap it up. Awesome. Because believe it or not, we've already talked over an hour. Oh. And most interesting interview on somebody we didn't take in. Because this is an ode to the characters that I've interviewed with us. I know mine is the 60-something-year-old Italian man who came in.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
And on his thing, on the interview thing, the thing that they fill out, the intake form. Thank you. They were. It said most piece of equipment they would most like to learn to use, and on there he wrote crystal ball.
I remember that.
He was like, and I was like, well, we don't. Do you know how to use a crystal ball? He goes, no, aren't you gonna teach me?
I remember that. Yep. Oh man.
He's like. And we're like, well, just so you know, we go out at night. Some of these places are trespassing and stuff like that, just so you know. Are you willing and able to do that? Oh, yeah, I've done that a bunch of times. I'm sure you have. But man. It was just the guy, his answers and the crystal ball thing. I was just done with that guy. It was so funny. It was very nice, but
nice.
I don't know. That's one of my favorite interviews I ever had to sit through.
How about you, Rob?
I would say an interview that JM did. We used to try to give the wackier people to JM.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Just figured, why not? To it, plus it would irk JM. And what's better than irking JM? Watching his reaction to it. So, I think we actually did the interview. I think it was at Katie's Bar.
Katie's Bar, yep. In the basement.
In their basement. Their owner was nice enough to let us use the basement to do our interviews, Brian. And so one person comes down and they sit down with JM and they have a duffel bag. So
what could possibly be bad?
So what could you possibly need a duffel bag for? Apparently, he's a demon battler and carries his tools of the trade around with him everywhere he goes.
Because you never know when a portal's going to open up.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So he had all his tools that he used to battle demons so that they can't possess him ever again. And that he yes, and so that
is it like the holy, baseball bat of Antioch?
I can't remember exactly what he had, but he had his stuff that he used to battle demons.
Oh, yeah.
And we just sat there watching JM do his interview, trying not to laugh at him.
What about you, Mike? You got anything?
man.
Or are you going with that crazy guy?
I didn't actually interview that guy. Somebody I interviewed, I would probably have to go with
Leopard print.
No.
There was the one interview we had to save you from.
It was at Katie's bar. This one chick. Now our interviews last anywhere from 20 minutes to a half an hour. I think it was me and Peter interviewing this person. And we were down there and we were interviewing this person for an hour and a half. And basically I was like her shrink. And I was like, somebody fucking kill me.
We eventually went to go see what the hell is he doing.
And I kept giving you guys the eyes you fucking get me out of here now.
At that point the rest of us were drinking in the bar and not paying attention to what he was doing.
Man. It was just
he's like, ring my cell phone, do something, please.
We're all gone in the bar.
Just, oh my god, that was tedious. We had some really interesting people over the years interview with us. And for future references, when you go in an interview, it's an interview. Some of these people, what I don't get is, I'm trying to find a new job right now. Okay, I have 2 jobs that I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't pay a lot. I'm trying to get out of it. So, some of these people that come down for interviews, now they all work. I know they have better jobs than I do. How the fuck did you get hired? That's what I want to know. That's what I ask. How the hell do you have a job? And they're probably making at least double my salary. It blows my mind. It really does. And they show up to our interviews is this what you showed up to your interview like? Holy crap, man. How did you get hired? I sit there and I think of that sometimes we have interview sessions. It blows my mind. It really does.
Especially when they're drunk or high.
Those are the best. Those are the best. We had this one woman come in and she was drunk. I mean,
the nurse
blasted. And she sits down. You could tell she's drunk, saying how she goes into Kings Park every week and she walks out. Security's right there and they don't do nothing. And I'm like, bullshit. I don't believe you for one bit. And yeah, it's amazing. Some people you get. It really is. And you get some people that. They'll show up in an interview, and I have great database records. I keep an amazing database, and we usually give 3 strikes and you're out. We'll contact you 3 times to show up for an interview. After the 3rd time, you're gone. So if it's something where it's your 3rd time and you finally show up for the interview, I'll ask you, hey, what happened with the other 2 sessions? I never emailed you. And I have their 2 emails sitting in my file right then and there. I'm like, really?
What are these?
That's my alter ego.
It's crazy,
Somebody hacked your account twice.
Yeah.
Just to try and become a paranormal investigator with us.
Yeah,
maybe your computer is haunted.
It's pretty crazy, but yeah. You meet some interesting people. I mean, not only interviews. I mean, we've met some interesting people just especially the retreats. The retreats attract some really special people, I'll say. I remember the first retreat we went on where everyone's getting their equipment ready and, all their stuff. They make sure the cameras are ready to go and their EMF meters, temp gauges, and this one guy puts on a trench coat and he puts on these, the fangs you put on for, Halloween.
The vampire.
Oh, yeah.
We're all sitting there what the fuck is this guy gonna do? You're about to turn the fucking lights out, and I'm gonna room with this guy. I swear, if this guy bites me, I'm gonna punch him in his dick. Seriously.
My money's on you, Mike.
And he's sitting there, and he's right before they start, he's start breathing heavy, we're all sitting there,
asthma.
What the fuck are we getting into? And whoever was running it, I think might have been either Steve or Paula was in the room, and she kind of looked at us. We looked at her. And we're like,
"Go leave me alone."
Interesting night, man.
We're not going lights out quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, it was holy shit. But oh yeah,
must bathe in the sunlight of darkness.
You meet some interesting people, man. Some really interesting people.
Hot diggity! Oh, I remember one time I interviewed. This was at the gazebo.
Okay.
We interviewed. He seemed really promising. He interviewed well. It was guy in his 40s. he works. He's an electrical engineer. He's like, this could be really promising. And then things kind of moved forward a little bit. And then he was like, okay, when are we on TV?
Mm. Yeah.
So sometimes it gets stealth weird. I mean,
yeah, it's weird. You get some people that say, "When am I going to meet?" Guys from Ghost Hunters. I'm like, "Who are you talking about?"
When do we tape it?
We're not tapped for LIPI. Last time I checked, the same amount of letters, but they're different.
So when's the show on? Discovery Channel? No.
Yeah.
No.
We get that mistake a lot, even through emails, all the time.
Can you go and get me so and so's autograph and have them send it to me, or can I speak to something? It's like, huh?
I just got an email the other day. Somebody that lives, I think it's in Jersey, asking us for help and all broken up English. And they're like, I need to speak to Mr. Johnson. So I emailed them back.
Go to Mr. Johnson's website.
Like, could I ask you a question? Like, who the hell is Mr. Johnson? They're like, you work with Mr. Johnson. I'm like, go on our website. Look at our crew. You tell me if there's anybody on our website with the last name of Johnson. There's not. And she's like, the guys from TAPS. I'm like,
we're not
TAPS.
TAPS.
I work with them. He lives in Massachusetts or Rhode Island. I live in Long Island. Like,
well, Island. That's kind of what threw him off.
They're not next to each other.
One of them's a road. One of them's Long Island.
I love the people that mix up Long Island and think it's in California.
That's Long Beach.
That's the best part. They email us. Can you think you could come next week? You live in California. I live on the opposite side of the country. Like, really?
If you want to pay my travel expenses and my lost wages, then yeah.
Sure, I'll come.
I remember I was talking to somebody in Tennessee, and they asked me where I was from, and I was telling them I'm from Long Island, and they were like, "Oh, you're from upstate."
Not exactly. Well, not the city.
I mean, upper state from where we are now. I guess that's true, but not upstate New York. No. All right, let's do some plugs and wrap this show up.
Awesome.
That's it.
Nancy, I think you've got a plug, right? Do you have any plugs? You plugging anything? What do you got going on? What's your Twitter handle?
Okay,
Where we at? What are we doing?
Before we interrupt you.
That's no problem. Yeah. So if you like what you hear, please let us know. We have our YouTube link. We have our Facebook page. Please check us out at longislandparanormal.com.
Oh, I meant personal stuff.
Oh, my personal stuff? Okay, yeah. If you love ghost stories, you love horror, you love zombies.
This is your chance.
I know. Well, she was telling me about her awesome thing, and I think she should promote it.
Thank you. Yeah, so please come in and check out my Facebook page, nmscurry.com. I'm also... NM Scurry. I'm also on Twitter. I'm on Google+. We'll be launching a Patreon page, so you can go ahead and get exclusive stories and paintings and all kinds of neat stuff with my my buddy Byron Rempel. So come on down. Let it. Come on, check it out.
All right, awesome. So if you guys need to find us, you know where to look, www.liparanormalinvestigators.com. You can send any of us an email. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for Long Island Paranormal Investigators. We're also on Google+, as Nancy kindly told us. Yep. We are also on Twitter. Our handle is @LI Paranormal Investigators. And, that's at LI Paranormal. Yeah. And we do have an Instagram page. I don't know if anybody updates, but we have one. So, like it.
Andy does.
Maybe if I figure it out, I'll put up a picture. I don't know.
There you go.
But, that's all we have for today. Hope you enjoyed this special 12th anniversary of LIPI show. And join us next week. Same ghost time, same ghost channel.
That's it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Nighty
night.